name of the book is The True Power of Chiropractic. Unlock your body's ability to adapt, and renew and restore. So before we maybe even get into talking about the book, I'd love to hear from you, Jason, a little bit about how did you get introduced to chiropractic?
It was a very young age. My mother, unfortunately, when she was born, contracted polio. So back in the 60s, essentially, it was a pretty big deal. In fact, most of the other patients in the hospital that contracted it as well didn't survive. So my mom spent some time in an iron lung, and luckily she was able to survive. Fast forward many years, she meets my father, who comes from a traditional medical background. Brothers are doctors. He's now an administrator at a hospital. And so for many years of her life, she had done the traditional medical treatment for sort of the effects the polio had on her body and what chiropractic care can do. And it's just amazing. I mean, my mom was left with severely imbalanced musculature, severely imbalanced skeletal structures. So it was pretty amazing. I'm a 6-year-old boy watching my mom go through some chiropractic treatment, and it not only changed her life, but it changed just the way her disposition was on an everyday basis. Imagine if she would have gone earlier and had a normal childhood with kids who went to prom and did things that normal kids do. So it was pretty incredible.
When you were a kid and you wound up experiencing this and seeing her grow, what were some of the things that you either missed or that she had a hard time doing with you that happened before she got introduced to chiropractic?
The things that stick out, and remember, Greg, I'm really young, so I'm 6, but the things that stick out in my mind particularly is my father's negative sort of view on chiropractic. So I kind of thought, Mom, what are you doing? They've done all they can. There's nothing more that you can do. And so being 6 in a chiropractic office, there was a lot changed my perspective. But I think the biggest thing was the ability of her to not only climb stairs and, walk uninhibited, but more importantly, I think just her basic overall ability to be a mother, to be a wife, was just dramatically improved because she felt better, and she was able to not continue to have these muscularly imbalanced problems for the rest of her life. What
changes have you noticed about your life and your health that might be different than, let's say, someone else who might not have been under chiropractic care?
Yeah, for me personally, I don't know what it's like to have back problems. And I've been getting adjusted in some capacity since literally I was 6 years old. I listen to people who tell me things like, chiropractic's not for me, or I don't believe in chiropractic. And I often tell them, that's okay. You don't have to believe. It's still going to work. and I'm very lucky. I'm very, very lucky. I'm 47 years old. Back pain is not normal. And I think that's the biggest takeaway here. And of course, as you and I know, chiropractic is so much more than back pain or neck pain or headaches. And it's really about just allowing your body to function the best it can under every circumstance. And I attribute my health, my wellness. I'm working out 4 or 5 days a week, and I look at people my age and they're talking about ailments and medicines and things that are just not in my vocabulary. So it is chiropractic is a very, very, and I can't imagine not having it. I cannot imagine not having been introduced to chiropractic as a young kid.